What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So, man, it was a wild day in Cooksey Media. I woke up to the channel being completely demonetized. All of you members got an email saying that your memberships were paused because they were taking it away from me. Luckily, I've gotten pretty good at handling these situations. I go to a legal service, they advise me. I was able to get it handled within a few hours. So, yeah, whoever reported me, what happened is I did that video on Saturday, and somebody, probably MX Sports or Feld, I don't know who, I really don't, but that would be my best guess, is one of those clowns, because they've tried everything in the book to get me shut down, reported that I was promoting terrorism. True story. They actually said that I was trying to promote terrorism with that video. If you watch that video, it was 100% the opposite of that. I am trying to keep everyone safe and do the right thing. So screw cancel culture. I'm just calling what I see, and I'm not promoting any of that. I'm not promoting the stuff they said I was promoting. I am anti that. So anyway, I got to talk to my buddy Kaden Lewis. Kaden Lewis, I've known him since he was a little kid riding BMX. He's actually younger than my son, but I've known his family forever. He made his first Arena Cross main events this weekend. I was like, dude, come on the show. I got to tell your story. He's making his debut at Anaheim this weekend. But man, what a pleasure to talk to Kaden Lewis. So here is Kaden. And before we get into that, just want to remind you guys to thank my sponsors. They are so important, especially if I end up getting demonetized. These guys keep me rolling. Nano-Extreme, best pain cream ever. Coach Rob, check out his podcast network. Ridestrapped, best goggles, glasses, and just a really cool company at ridestrapped.com. And Precision Transport, the best way to ship anything, a family-owned business that really takes pride in their business. Oh, and if you need energy, don't forget Lightning Rod Energy, a healthy pre-workout energy drink. I love this stuff. Use code Cooksey and get yourself a discount on some Lightning Rod Energy. All right, guys, here is Mr. Kaden Lewis.
Need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So, all right, guys, I've got one of my favorite arena cross racers, somebody I've known since he was a little kid, and he made his first main events, two of them this weekend. Kaden Lewis, what's happening, brother?
What is up? I'm happy to be here.
So tell me about your weekend. You've been out this for a while, right?
Yeah. So I raced my first pro arena cross at the end of 2023, so last season, and then I just made a main this year. Last weekend I finally did it, and then backed it up the next night with another one. I knew like I had the speed the whole time, but I just had like a huge mental block after just like failing so many times, and then to get over that hump just like was so relieving.
And let's not forget too, you're also riding a 250, and I think it's a disadvantage in particular in Denver. How did you make it work at the high altitude against the 450s?
Yeah, it was definitely a disadvantage on the starts because like I was starting in first gear, and then I felt like I would rip a start, and then everyone would blow by me on the straightaway. So it was definitely tough to like stay up there on the start, and like the start is everything in arena cross. So we definitely had to battle it out.
And we didn't get to see it on camera, but we saw the aftermath of what you did to Anton Nordstrom. And I'm with you, dude. I get it. Anything goes at the end of when you're battling for that last transfer spot in the LCQ, it is like Hunger Games. You do whatever you need to. All we saw was the aftermath of you crossing the finish line, qualifying, and him pushing his bike away. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so I think the race was like 7 laps maybe, and like last 2-3 laps I like started reeling them in, and I was like, all right, white flag, I'm getting pretty close here, like I might be able to make a move. So I went through the whoops and I was like, no, not here. And then and that rhythm section of that right hander, I was like, all right, I either got to go or I just give up now. And I dove to the inside like as tight as I could go, and he saw me coming and he tried to like check up over the berm, and he like kind of got a little squirrely already, and I came in and he was like pretty much fell on top of me. Then we both went down. His bike was stuck wide open. His handlebar was completely broken off in my back wheel somehow. And then we both went down. We had a huge gap behind us. So I got up. My bike was in like 4th gear. I like Trey Kennard down the straightaway, both feet hanging off, ripped it to the last turn and almost got past, but we made it happen. It was not pretty, and it's like not really what I like to do, but I was not letting that pass up for a transfer spot. So
I kept watching live timing, and I saw you getting close, and I was really hoping they'd cut back, and I'm like, what happened? And then I saw you went across. I'm like, yes, he made it. I was so ecstatic.
Yeah, I do have a video of it. There is a video of it, so I can send it to you after this.
Okay, so yeah, if you can send it to me, I'll overlay it. That is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he goes on to win the B main
Yeah.
and makes one of the funniest comments I've seen. So if people don't know, your older sister Callie is the 32nd girl, and
Yeah.
he's doing the interview and he's like, her little brother took me out twice and the heat race and the LCQ, and she's going like, no.
I mean, it's pretty nice to take a win. Her little brother took me out both in the heat race and the LCQ, but it is what it is. I'm having a great time, and yeah, the track is awesome, and the crew.
I did hear that. I was back at the pit, and the worst part of all of it is they were set up right next to us, so it was super super awkward. And I was sitting back at the thing, and I heard the interview, and I was laughing. That was funny.
Well, I thought Callie was going to kick his ass. Like
Yeah,
she,
that's what I heard. I talked to the Kristen Banks, the interviewer, and then the other girl, and they said the same thing.
yeah, I don't think they know. I don't think Anton knows your family or your sister. Let's get into that. So long before you
Yeah.
were a motocross racer, I was taking my son to the BMX track. He was a kid, and we're doing these clinics with Trinell. And I see
Yep.
your dad, I see both your sisters, they're teenagers, and you're just a little tiny guy. And we're all in this. I'm like, oh, they're from Havasu, they're pretty cool, and we're hanging out. How did you get from there to then I run into you guys years later after my kid quit racing BMX at Western Raceway, and I see this really fast kid, Lewis. And I walk over and I talk to your dad. I'm like, you guys, do you not remember me? And it was
Yeah.
crazy. What happened? What made you get into dirt bikes, and where did it go from there?
Yeah, so I started racing BMX when I was like, shoot, 6 years old, and we were like solid, strong, like nationals. That was all we did for like maybe 5 years. And then I think it was like 2015 or 16. I got my dad to, if I podiumed at this national that was in Vegas, that he would buy me a dirt bike because I wanted a dirt bike the whole time. So I podiumed. I got this like old KTM 65, and then the first race I ever did was a works race in Prim. And after that, I was like, all right, no more BMX. I'm done with this, and I'm going full moto. And that was basically the transition. It was like after the first race, I was like, I'm done. Let's go.
That's funny. That's very similar to how mine went. I raced BMX. We did some motocross. I was done racing BMX. I just raced motocross from then on.
Yep.
But what people don't know is Callie, the 32nd girl, she also raced motocross and broke both her arms at a Supercross.
At the amateur day in SX Futures when it was like all the classes. Yeah, she raced and like clipped this double, went over the berm, broke both arms. My mom was ready to sell all our bikes after that because yeah, it was brutal. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I've empathized with her. I think I even posted the pictures of when I had two broken arms. You find out who your friends
Yeah.
are when both arms are
Oh
broken.
my gosh.
Oh,
I don't wish that on anyone.
no,
It's
it
brutal.
is gnarly. So
Yeah.
now you've been a pro for 3 years. You've done the Supercross Futures. What's next for you?
Yeah, so thanks to you, I was able to get into SX Futures the last 2 years. So thank you for that. So we raced that, and then Salt Lake last year, got my Supercross points, and then this weekend we're racing A1, so 250 West.
Wow. So you're making your debut, and I know you're tight with the AGE guys. Are you pitting with the AGE? Are you on your own? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're not with them anymore from some other stuff. Some some stuff on their part that is not really good. They've burned a lot of people, so burned a lot of bridges. So we're doing our own thing, and we got a pretty good support team going into this year. So
And what's the schedule? Is it Supercross from here on out? Or are you going to stick with the Arena Cross? What are you doing?
yeah, so I'm gonna try and do as many of the West Coast rounds as I can. I think the first 4 or 5, there's no like Arena Cross, but we're definitely doing Supercross over Arena Cross this year. So and then racing Arena Cross when there's off weekends.
Well, there's that one that's, I guess the next one's in Oklahoma, and then the next day is Anaheim. So you'll be in
Yeah,
Anaheim, not
so
in Oklahoma.
I'll be in Anaheim.
Are
I think
you?
my next Arena Cross would be Prescott. So
I just made arrangements. I should be there. I'll be cheering you
perfect,
on.
perfect.
So what else is happening with Kaden Lewis? What are you? Now tell me. Now your older sister. Now all three of you guys race BMX. She was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they kicked your ass.
Yeah, they were better. They were both better than me, and I hated it. I really did. They were both super good at BMX, and then yeah, I was not stoked about that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because your dad, you guys live in Kingman. I live in Vegas. For those that
Yeah.
don't know, that's about an hour and a half drive. Your dad drove out here 2 to 3 times a week. And I remember going like, holy crap, I'm complaining because I have to drive across town to the BMX track. And you're going back and forth to Kingman. How many
Yeah.
years did you guys do that?
I think it was from 2013 to like all of that year, and then all the way to 2016, we went like strong. Every day after school, I remember he'd pick us up, and we'd either go to Vegas, Boulder City, or like Ed Fountain, or we'd go to Havasu. Like 4 or 5 days a week, we were on the road going to the track, and it was brutal.
And you always had those COB. Was that your dad's business or what is that?
That was Turnell's team actually. He ran the team, and we were on the team with him. So
Oh, that's why you're
yeah,
always at the clinics when I took my kid there.
yep, yeah. He helped me out a bunch. So he's the one that really got me started in it.
Do you remember my son Noah?
I think I do. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a few years older than you, got to
yeah.
expert, and then it was time. When you get to expert in BMX, you either manual or jump or you don't win.
Oh yeah, or yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's time. Like I never pressured him to do anything, but I said, if you're not going to jump or manual, maybe we find a different sport. So we went and played soccer.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's where I kind of like I was all into the jumping and manual and stuff, and I really think that BMX has like crossed over a lot into arena cross and supercross just because of how tight it is and the timing and everything.
Yeah, I see you do that. So you think the manualing and your BMX base really helps you figure tracks out and rhythm sections?
I 100% do. Like it's pretty much turns into muscle memory, honestly, but like I think it's a really good base.
And then you got quite the facility there in Kingman. Where do you practice Supercross? Just at your place, or do you go to any of these Southern California tracks and ride? Where have you been training?
So like the last year I did most of my riding here and like which was good. I mean the track was always good. It's a good practice track. But this year I spent most of my time in SoCal, like almost every week riding like the public tracks there and stuff. And I feel like it's really made a difference.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think when you ride those public tracks, kind of public, you got to be a pro, but they
Yeah.
get torn up towards the end of the day. And that's more like what you see on race day. And being somebody who
Yeah.
competed in
100%.
futures, is that kind of comparing?
Yeah, I think so. Like the tracks, they're not very good at prepping them, and they definitely don't get much. They don't get much prep, so they're always brutal. And I think it's really good. Like SX Futures, we'd always be racing at the end of the night. The track would be brutal, so I think that was a really good like crossover for sure.
Yeah, and it pissed me off. They're like, "Oh, we're just letting them ride that to get prep." No, they're not, because when the
No,
real guys go, you prepped it. So if you're prepping them
yeah,
for what it's really
yeah.
like, you would have
I
prepped
remember
it.
hearing Ricky Carmichael say that on the live, and I thought that was the dumbest thing, dude. So many kids would stack it up and like wad themselves because the track was just gnarly.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, we want them to be like it is when they're." I'm like, "No, because when the pros go after them, they prepped it. You moron."
Yeah,
Oh,
they'll take the skiddy out right after we're done.
yeah, yeah. It was crazy. So when you go to Anaheim, it's this weekend. I know a lot of guys don't try to have expectations. Is your expectation to go? Is it about riding? Is there a result you're looking for? What are you thinking heading into this weekend?
I'm trying to come in with like an open mind. I don't really have any expectations just because I've never really done it. So I'm going to be in the night show and then just try to race from there and see where we end up. Kind of build a base from there.
Perfect. I love that. What I would do is I would say, if I was there with you, which I'm not allowed to be there anymore. uh,
Yeah, so dumb.
It is. But I would say like, hey, just go out there, race the track. Do not worry about anything else. Get as fast a lap time
100%.
as you can, but and I would grade your performance on how you ride compared to what you think you can do. And that's how I
Yeah,
wouldn't grade the result. You know how to
yeah,
race. You just need to go out there and put in the effort. And I think, I mean, especially the first round's always hard to get into the main event. But after
oh
that,
for sure.
it seems to even up a little bit. But if you can do just
Yeah,
like you've done in arena cross, where you put yourself in that position, sooner or later you're going to get it.
yeah. Just got to be there every time and it's going to happen eventually.
Well, that's
So
what I told you last year. I'm like, dude, you're going so fast, and you're right
yeah,
there every time. Sooner or
I was
later,
yeah,
yeah.
I was so frustrated after last year. Like even coming into this year, I had like such a mental block that I was like, dude, is it ever gonna happen? Like I'd have such bad luck, and like when it should be happening, it would just crush me. And then to finally like have it happen was just like the biggest relief. I feel like a completely different person now.
It was crazy. Look, I saw the way you rode Saturday versus Friday, and I could tell the weight has been lifted. You now believe you're a main event guy. And it was funny, even the announcers
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, Caden Lewis, he's like an A main guy." Did you hear that? Did you watch it back and hear him say that? They're like, "Oh yeah, he's like a main event guy now." I'm
I
like,
watched part of it. I think I heard that.
it's the
Yeah,
second one, but yeah, he
yep,
is an A main guy because that's what you look like. That's how
yeah,
you carried yourself.
100%. Yeah, like the first main on, the second on Saturday. like I got a good start. I pushed the whole main event and like ended up 10th. So I mean, top 10, I'll take it.
Dude, I honestly think on a track that doesn't have altitude, or if you could get a 350 or a 450, I don't see
Yeah,
any problem with you battling up inside that top five. And I said it in my video today.
yeah,
You and
100%.
Byron Holman, I think, could be top contenders in this series within a year or two.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just the progress we made from last year and like finally seeing what we can do is just I feel like I can do even more. So
Yeah.
definitely.
So what's the schedule like this week? When do you head to Anaheim? Walk me through your training this week. So you drove home, what, Sunday?
Yeah, we drove home yesterday. It was about 13 hours. It was brutal. Got home last night, like 10 o'clock. So kind of just chilling today. Went for like a mountain bike ride, trying to regroup and get everything ready. And then I'll drive to SoCal tomorrow and then ride Wednesday and then take Thursday, Friday off and then race Saturday.
So you're not invited to press day?
Not that I know of. No press day A1. So
I hate that. I love when they do a couple sessions. They let a lot of guys go. I think it would
yeah.
be so beneficial to let rookies
Oh,
go out there.
100%. Yeah. Just need to get a hold of the right person and see if I can get into some of the rounds because that would definitely help me.
Yeah, I would help you if I could, but I'm on the blacklist
Yeah.
these days. I can't even go to watch.
Yeah.
So
Stupid.
yeah.
But yeah, and then after A1, I think I'm going to be staying in California for San Diego and then A2. So just be riding there.
And what track do you ride out there?
The only two tracks that we've been riding is Hemet and then Paula Supercross. So there's like only two now.
And are there any guys in particular, pros, current pros that you train with regularly, or anyone kind of mentoring you or anything?
I have a trainer. His name's Dimitri. He's from France, and he's really, I feel like, taking me to the next level. Like after Salt Lake this year, like even though I got my Supercross points, like there was a lot of missing pieces, and we like worked all summer just riding outdoors to try to build a base, and then like October we switched over and really been putting in work on Supercross. So he's been a huge help for me.
Yeah, you don't seem to get tired at all, and I think that's what helps you in those main events. Do you get tired or
Yeah.
arm pump or anything like that?
No, like my body. I was just telling my parents yesterday, like my body felt so good in the main events. Like on like the second main towards the end, I was just kind of smoked. But like my cardio, even at altitude and stuff, like I felt really good, which was like honestly gave me even more confidence.
And you got to work on that technique I was telling you about. If you are going to get lapped, jump in behind and pretend like you're a leader and pass the guy you're battling with. I used to do that
Yeah,
all the time. It's dirty and
yeah,
it pisses people off, but it's the easiest way to get a couple cheap positions at the end.
yeah. I was talking to my parents about that. Like that's the hardest part. Like the lappers are there, but it's honestly so much. Like it takes so much for you to slow down and actually let them by. That like you got to find a balance because if you hold them up, they're gonna get pissed at you. But if you like wait and let them by, then you're just losing time on your own. So you got to definitely find a balance between that and try and stick in with those guys.
Yeah, it was funny too because you tried to get out of Brees's way at one point, and then he went by and threw his arm
Yeah,
up at you. I'm like,
yeah.
he didn't say anything afterward, did he?
No, no, I'm super cool with him, so that was all good. But yeah, I tried to move out of his way after the finish, and then he washed out on the wall jump. I was like, well, I hope people didn't think that was my fault because I had nothing to do with that.
No, I know Bruce pretty well too, and
Yeah,
he was having a frustrating weekend. I'm sure he told
yeah,
you
yeah.
about. It's
Yep.
just it's hard being a guy that wants to win, and your teammate also wants to win. They're both a couple
hundred
alphas,
percent.
and he's not sure what he can rate, how he can race Vince, and Vince is racing him like he
Yeah.
races everybody else, and it's been an
Yep.
adjustment.
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of things like around the team and stuff. Like, I was even watching the A group qualifying because I was in the group B. But like, Freezy is just riding around, like trying to mess up his lap times, is what I really saw. Like, 3 laps, I think he messed up Brees's time, and Brees is getting super frustrated. Like, it's real. Like, Freezy is playing the mind games.
He's there to win and nothing else, and he does not
Yep.
care. And I mean, I would hate to compete against him,
Oh,
but at the same
100%.
time, I 100% respect and love watching him
Yeah.
ride. He brings the
Yeah.
fun,
His
man.
his racecraft is honestly better than anyone I've seen.
Have you noticed since he's been in the series, it's getting more mainstream attention?
I think so. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more like bigger Instagram pages and like they've been reporting it a bunch. So I think it's really helped it.
I do too. I love it. And I think it's the best way to prep for someone like you to go out and get these gate drops before Anaheim. I think it's so much better than just going to a practice track. And I'm
For
excited to
sure.
watch you this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's what we were saying. We were playing on this race. I think it'd be really good, like just get some momentum coming into Supercross instead of just be riding the practice tracks and doing lap times and stuff. Like it's good to race.
So who are your sponsors? Let's give them a little shout out, whoever's helping you this year.
Yeah, so we got Lasting Impressions, the Arena Cross team from last year. They kind of stepped up this year to help me out, and my dad's been helping me a bunch get some other sponsors. We got Active Gear and BC Goggles, VP, Alpine Star, and just we got a pretty good group coming in. So
That's awesome. I love your family. They have such a cool family. Like I said, I've known you since you're just a little tiny guy. Um, I'm pumped for you. As soon as you made it, I was out of my chair screaming. I was like, yeah, I finally did
yeah,
it, texting you.
yeah.
And
I
you're
came back
texting.
to the pits. I checked my phone. You were the first text. I was stoked.
Well, I've been watching for so long and just, I
Yeah.
watch every arena cross and every time I say, oh, how's Kaden? Is he going to get in? Is this the night? And I just,
Yep.
like you, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm so glad to see you do that. And I love that you did it right before Anaheim. And I think you're
Yeah.
even better on
It's
the bigger
perfect.
tracks. And I've been
Yep.
telling people how talented you were for a long time. And to see you break through is awesome. Um, just have fun and race the track, my man.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Will
and
do.
don't worry about texting me back. Handle your business.
Yeah, it keep my mind free. So gotta respond to text every now and then.
And
Yeah, but
if I give you any advice, it's just a guess. Like
yep,
if it works for
of
you,
course.
great. If it doesn't, say don't listen to Cooksey.
Yeah,
So
I'll take it always. But yeah, definitely a huge shout out to you. Like you've helped me like get my Supercross career going so much and like getting me to the right places. So I appreciate that.
hey, dude, I appreciate you. Your whole family, some of the nicest people in this area. Like I say, I'm really happy to see where you guys are going and what you're doing. And I think you're taking it and you're taking a different path. Like a lot of these kids go through the
Yeah.
amateur system and then they try to become pro. You've gone through the BMX and then you've kind of skipped the amateur nationals and you're going right
Yep.
into arena cross and then pro. And I think it's different, but I honestly think it's going to work. And I think people are going to go in a couple of years. They're all going to go, where'd this Lewis guy come from?
100%. Yeah. So I've honestly in the last few years I've raced a handful of motocross races, like just mainly arena cross and supercross, just because I feel like it's my thing. It's definitely not the traditional route like for all the upcoming guys, but I think it might turn into the new thing if we can show everyone what we know.
Yes, I love it. And that's what I've always told you guys. Do it the right way. And no matter what, even if it doesn't pan out, which I think it will, but if it doesn't, you think about the times that you and your family have got to share, your sister's working at the races. I mean,
100%.
you guys are the epitome